All right, we're kicking things off recognizing International Fraud Awareness Week. This happens every November from the 16th to the 22nd, and this is actually the 25th anniversary of the International Fraud Awareness Week, put together by the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. And it's a global effort to minimize the impact of fraud across different organizations. It was started way back in 2000, 25th anniversary, and it's supposed to unite organizations worldwide in the fight against fraud. So each November, businesses, communities, they come together, they raise awareness, they educate employees, and foster a culture of integrity. We're happy to have the United Bank of Africa with us to discuss this. Mr. Kayode Ajayi, who is the acting chief internal auditor over at the United Bank of Africa. Welcome, sir. Good to have you on the show today. So as far as talk to us about what International Fraud Awareness Week means to you. As an audit, by the way, I admire your job. It's not easy. Well, please tell us what it means to you at the banking sector.
Okay. Thank you for having me, Rotus. Good afternoon, our audience.
Yes.
So, International Week for Fraud Awareness at UBA is a great event. So for us, because of the trajectory of fraud, we see fraud has been escalating in the industry bank-wide. Even in Nigeria, 2023, we know fraud reported by NIPS is around 17 billion lost to fraud. And as of 2024, the figure has escalated to 52 billion. So as we speak in 2025, it will definitely go higher. So for us in UBA, it's a serious business that we take fraud seriously. So we started actually in 2023 as an internal thing to mobilize our people, protect our customers, but we've since elevated this conversation. So as of today, UBA is having the biggest bank-led fraud sensitization in Africa. So we have over 1,500 fraud ambassadors, anti-fraud ambassadors, spread across all our geographies. So with the sole aim of educating, empowering our customers and our staff to the dangers of fraud. We know fraud impacts the bottom line. You work very hard, and at the end of the day, if you are not careful, you lose so much money to fraud. But we are taking it seriously as our own duty. We intentionally want to help the industry, help the regulators and the government to bring down fraud significantly in Africa.
Okay, and look, that's it's a bit worrisome with 17 billion. You said 2023, expected to maybe hit 50 or so, 54 for 2025. So, what is UBA doing differently to prevent fraud in the banking sector?
Okay, thank you for that question once again. So, what we are doing differently is that we know that as technology evolves, we have AI, we have sophistication across board, but the weakest point is human. Human being at the weakest point of this evolving technology. And we know humans' motivation still remains the same. Everybody wants to have a good life, no matter what people are doing, whether they are working or they are not working, everybody wants a good life. And then fraud exploits these weaknesses, human weaknesses, the lack of attention of people. It might interest you to know that you're going to receive strange WhatsApp messages.
Hey!
There's
I have stories.
There's a meeting. Somebody sent the WhatsApp message to me that there's a meeting somewhere and the pastor wants us to meet. And he sent a link. So I asked
click on it.
To click.
Right.
So I asked, what's the pastor's name? And he dropped immediately because he knew that the bubble has busted.
I got a call from a senator, somebody impersonating a senator in Nigeria, saying that there's a Zoom call coming up and I should click on the link. And then I got a notification saying somebody wants to take over your your phone. Oh, it's just thank you for sharing this with our audience.
Yeah. So at UBA, what we do is we have our fraud awareness is not just a day. Although this week is a global event,
Right.
but it's not a day. It's 365 days. We have fraud ambassadors that are specially trained. So, and we have fraud clinics. In this clinic, we do diagnosis, we do prognosis, we do a lot of things in this clinic. Because fraud moves in a pattern. You know, it will rise, it will fall. Immediately you discover this trend, another trend will start. So we have a fraud clinic where we analyze the trend and we prepare for each fraud. But what we are doing differently now is that we are intentional about it, educating the public that there are some certain things that you need to know about fraud and its antics. So you need to equip yourself. Fraud doesn't look at your education.
Right.
For example, a doctor was called, somebody very educated. They say, we are going to send you a code. So we are from the bank, we are doing certain activities on your account. So put the code in your system and the doctor continue to obey them until all the funds were wiped out.
Oh, wow.
So fraud is not, if you need to be educated to know how fraud works. So that's what we do at UBA to educate people that fraud doesn't look at your education. There's a tactics, it's a psychology thing. They work on your psyche and they tell you one or two things. But you must be sensitive. So that, because UBA will never ask you, or any bank for that matter, will not ask you over the phone to supply your vital details. So you should be worried of that. Somebody calling you on the phone, that there's a code or there's a link, you should know that these are fraudsters. So you need to kick against it. So in UBA, we elevate it. We are doing market storms to take it to the ordinary people in the market, what they need to watch out for to avoid being defrauded.
That's good point, because I want to ask you about the unbanked and how you're taking this message down to them as well, and how to protect against identity theft and so on and so forth. So how are you getting that message over to them?
So what we are doing is that since we have our ambassadors located all over the country and also in the rest of Africa, so we'll go to these popular markets to reach those that are there. And then we also work through the social groups in different countries. We have UBA Foundation that is also reaching young people at school, and we catch them early education on what to do when you have a message, how to be sensitive to fraud. UBA is doing that at the moment. So we go to different groups, not necessarily UBA customers alone, but everyone that uses bank in order to support the system. Because for fraud fighting is not a UBA thing alone. It's a global thing and it's an industry thing. So we need to pull all the industries together. Collaboration is a strength of fighting a fraud. If the sector comes together to collaborate, definitely we'll be able to win together. No single person can win the fight against fraud.
Multi-factor authentication. This is something that comes up a lot. Can you define it for folks that are watching, and talk to us about why it's such a crucial defense mechanism in fighting fraud?
Okay. Multi-factor authentication, MFA, it simply means that you need to give access to your account or to your device. So what we are used to is PIN code and the rest of them. But when you are talking of multi-factor authentication now, it means you have more than one or more than two authentication to be done. So you have your code, the normal code that we are used to, your PIN, and then you might have your token, you might have some questions to answer and all that. So that even if somebody spies your password, you will not get the other the other authentication device that you need to access the account. So you have more than one or two authentication to be done before your account is accessed. And MFA gives a sure protection, very, very good protection to you against fraud. So that if you suddenly lose your card, your ATM card, for example, there are some things that the thief will not be able to know, except you have disclosed those things intentionally.
And another important point for folks that are watching, safeguarding your personal information online and on your mobile device, because this device right here, it is. I mean, this is UBA right here, right? You send your money on your mobile device. You've got your AI bot Leo and so on and so forth. So people, their lives are on their phones. How do you safeguard?
Okay, so the general counsel is that when you are on social media, you should be conscious of the kind of information you divulge, because data now is gold. So you don't go to social media to divulge sensitive information. So you have to be careful with the social media so that you limit yourself to what kind of information you put out there.
Yes.
For example, some people, their birthday, the whole world knows their birthday.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, this same birthday is their password. Somebody say happy 40th anniversary. So I can easily know when he was born.
Yeah.
So, and he's now using that same birthday as a password. So he becomes vulnerable. So we should be careful the amount of information we are disclosing to the whole world. Then number two, we should be intentional about how we use public Wi-Fi.
Okay.
The kind of information you process on public Wi-Fi, because it could be easily accessed. So you should not just put all those sensitive information out there. And when you use those outlets, immediately you finish, you delete. Make sure you exit properly. You delete your login and the rest of them, so that other people will not come and access it. So you should be careful about that.
Now, okay, so the next follow-up now, for folks who may not have, who have already been compromised, what is the first thing you have to do once that has unfortunately happened, in case they missed the advice you just gave them now on how to safeguard it? If they haven't safeguarded it and their information gets compromised, what do they do?
The first thing for UBA customers, the first thing you have to do is to dial *919 *911 #. So when you do this, you'll be able to either block your account or you block your ATM card. So if you do this, you'll be able to prevent further hemorrhage on your account. Then number two is that you can call your account customers to put a PND on your account to temporarily shut down the access to your account. You can do that. Then you can also report to an authority that is very close to you, or you visit your bank. I also want to counsel that you can send a whistleblowing. There's a platform that is there on the internet. You can go to whistleblowing at ubagroup.com. If you do that whistleblowing, you receive an immediate response, because that whistleblowing is interestingly under my command. So,
okay, good.
If you do whistleblowing,
so they reach out to you.
Yes, I will immediately work on it and to immediately prevent further loss of fund. So, but you should don't delay it tomorrow. Immediately you notice something is wrong, either you whistleblow or you block it directly by yourself, or you call the bank immediately.
It's not an easy job. I admire every single auditor on this planet. And sir, Mr. Kayode Ajayi, Acting Chief Internal Auditor at United Bank of Africa, you do a great job. It's not an easy job. We thank you for the awareness and for enlightening our minds on International Fraud Awareness Week this month. And we thank you for joining us on Arise News. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.